Spoilers.
Spoilers. There are spoilers. Spoilers. Okay. Echoes ripple, counting more. Ancients lurking by our door. Refute their reach, let not in one. Or feel our wrath, our will be.
Don't underestimate connection, fractured parallels, imperfections. Threads entangled, bind you all. Seek not to see, heed our call. Welcome to FanDive. My name is Chaos. I feel weird to do instead of our usual poem, but past life.
Yeah, but
It's
past life.
Past life.
We get to finish the series.
We did it. We timed it perfectly.
Woo! Now we gotta wait another half a year.
Oh my god, don't. We're not talking about the next season yet.
No, we're not there yet. We gotta talk about Past Life.
Today we're talking about the finale, and technically the season overall of Past Life, the newest season in the Life series.
Yeah, we love to see it. We've done all the previous ones, and we just watched the finale. As the day of recording this, it just came out.
We're still missing Grian's POV, by the way. We're recording this before Grian's POV comes out.
Let me just refresh YouTube as we're recording so I can let you know when it happens.
Oh no, I have my Discord set to ping when Grian uploads, and he hasn't done it yet.
Anyway, if that gives you context, so this is about the season in the whole, but we just watched the finale, so a little bit hyped about that.
A little bit hyped. So, Past Life, it is the season inspired by Evo SMP. Basically what Grian had always wanted out of Evo. We start off at the earliest version, and then we proceed to modern day.
Earliest version that they could get working with multiplayer and like the mods involved.
Well, they worked so hard. Like, give it up to the freaking dev team who got those voice mods working in beta.
It's honestly beyond me how people can do that, but hey, I don't have that skill set, so maybe it's easier than I think. But from my perspective, that is a
poor little Chaos sitting here with my dice. I'm trying not to fidget with because they will make too much noise. But I rolled a nat 20, so I'll give that to me.
But each episode, they would switch updates and slowly getting closer and closer to the most recent version. In game each time, and included that was. The seed would change what biomes people were in.
No, they stayed in the same seed. It was the seed that was like the panorama of a really early version of Minecraft.
Yeah, but
as they update the seed, they would basically pick everyone's bases up into the air, redo the world, so the seed was the same, but it was generated on the new update. And then they would plop everyone's bases back down.
Which is also part of the as early as they could get, because they had to also have that work in the really early versions. Bizarre. But the finale was in our most recent version of Minecraft, which they had to have known it would be the finale beforehand.
Yeah. We were talking last week, and it was basically like there's way too many greens for next week to be the finale, but we're out of updates. Well, could they do a snapshot? Could they do the potato update?
I wasn't sure if it would be the last or not. I kind of assumed it would be, despite what was going on, because I remember in, what was it? Not Wildlife.
Secret
Life. They did the thing of like, people have gone out of the series, but there's so many greens left, we're going to put in another factor to make it so we will take out a lot of people. And that was Gem and the Boogeyman Apocalypse.
The Secret Society would come back. It feels so weird. That was only one episode and never touched again.
Well, that was a bit strange. I thought there would be more mechanics than that because we did introduce that early on. But no, it was just like a one-off, and it was like, okay, because that's...
I guess
we're not going to talk about that.
Maybe in future seasons the Secret Society is coming back, and I don't know. I'm very interested.
My thought was that it could be the final episode, and that they might put in a mechanic. Obviously, they didn't. They did the 2 Boogeyman, 2 Reds, and then it just played until they were done, apparently.
Wait, who was the second Boogeyman? It was Scott. Who else?
Joel,
right, God.
Scott and Joel.
Joel went out so quickly for me, and I'm like, yeah. And Joel was
Well,
there
he
too.
got the boogie kill.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Again, spoilers, if you did not get that in the intro.
Spoilers.
I loved Jimmy's perspective this season. I was so proud of him. I'm over here in the corner. Let's go, Jimmy. Nobody really quite expected that of him. He did not win, but dang, did he get real close. Much closer than people expected of him.
You know, I was saying at the beginning, either Jimmy's out first or he's making it to the finale. And I was like, maybe even winning. He did not, but like he got real close.
I think he got 4th. I'm pretty sure he got 4th place.
Yeah, because Scott went out first, and then it was Jimmy. Okay, yeah. He got good. He got real good.
Man got good. Do you know how many people he took out?
Yeah, people got mad at him about that, but honestly, he was playing the game and he was good at it.
Don't be mad at him for that. I'm cheering him for that. Because I am aware that in this fandom, people rely on patterns a lot, and they love patterns to an absurd amount, where they will twist things and be like, but it still counts in the pattern if you do this, that, the other thing.
Well, that's human nature. Humans love patterns and putting things in little tiny boxes.
Yes, but also with the curses, they won't let go of the curses, regardless of how accurate they are or not anymore. For me, that included Jimmy. He's not been the first out for a few seasons. 3 seasons now? 3 seasons?
I think
seasons, not including.
Equal now.
Yeah, not including the April Fool's ones. But we still have people still referring to him as the Canary and being like, well, it still counts because these connected, or he passed on the Canary curse to Tango because they were soulmates once. And that kind of thing where, like, they want the patterns, but they're twisting reality to fit it, which watches much. But
well, he's also doing like official merch now that has Canary like imagery. There's the enamel pins, and then he also just put out the 2 nickels and a canary merch line, which looks so freaking cute. I cannot afford it, but it's so adorable.
Yeah, but him taking other people out, there's no reason to be angry at him for that. They agreed to play the game. He's playing the game. He's playing it correctly, for that matter. And don't be mad because he's get good.
You said get good. He got good. What did you expect?
Yeah, he did what you guys said. I do appreciate, this sounds slightly mean, but I do mean it in a way that I love all of these people so much. But he got Pearl out early, and that broke her pattern of always like being in that final group. She didn't even make it to the final episode, and that upset some people because she's always in the end. Why is she not here?
Well, it was the fact that Jimmy just kind of started shooting at someone who was walking around invisible, not knowing it was Pearl. And so I think that's what kind of fed into the feeling of unfairness. It wasn't even a targeted attack.
Well, yeah, but that's what you do when there's invisible people in a game where you're trying to kill each other.
Yeah. Welcome to the live series, man.
Also, wasn't he on red when he did that?
He did. Like, come on, guys.
His job was to kill people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, dude. I know we were talking about Jimmy right now, but I'm thinking of the rejects as a whole and how they were considered a very strong team for a while, up until the last moments where they all seemed to just drop like flies.
No, here's the thing: is I never saw them as like a really strong team. That was the whole shtick.
They weren't strong team's the wrong word for it, but they had a lot of lives and a lot of manpower. Just body count alone, bodies standing alive.
Yeah. That's never stopped Scott.
True.
This man has had the whole server hunt him down multiple occasions.
Dude, the fact that we kept going back to Skynet, even though literally everyone was like, I'm so over Skynet, I still don't like Skynet. And then you have Scott standing there, and I'm like, this is one of the creators of MCC. He has been training for this every single month for years at this point. This is Sky Battle. This is what he's good at. You can't put Scott up in a Skynet and then be mad when he's good at the game. Again, we're back at this whatever I was trying to say beforehand.
I think we said this in a previous episode, but Skynet, everybody hates Skynet, but it's such an effective strategy that they simply cannot let it go.
Worth it. That's the annoying part.
And I did watch Scott's perspective. I've watched a couple's perspectives, not all of them, but a handful.
I was still waiting on Grian.
Still waiting on Grian. Let's do another refresh. But Scott going, you know what, at this point, I'm still on green. Everybody else on the server is red. Builds a little jukebox and seats. Sits there and goes, I'm going to sit here until somebody kills me.
I mean, what a vibe.
The thing is, he was sitting there, I don't want to just give them the kills, but like...
At the same time, it does kind of need to happen.
Yeah, and that's always amusing to me, because I do watch so many different point of views, and I try to see as many perspectives as I can. But from his perspective, he's kind of just chilling.
Every season, it's like, what's Scott doing? Oh, he's just hanging out. Okay. Sounds sick.
And he's somehow friends with everyone while also enemies with them. He can be like, been trying to kill each other for a long time, and then he'll be stood on a mountain. They'll walk up to him and he'll go, hey, what's up? Yeah. And they go, hey, what's up?
What's up? What's up? It's charisma, as Gemini Tay said. Scott has maxed out his charisma stat. Exact opposite of Impulse. Oh my god, dude, Impulse, the way he was immediately like, I guess I'm a lone wolf, and Cleo and Martyn were just standing there like, did our marriage mean nothing to you? Cleo was like going out of their way to complain. It's like, yeah, Impulse is secret girlfriending me again, and that's a little insulting for the third time.
Yeah, this season was rooted against Impulse for some reason.
Impulse cannot
the finale.
win.
And Impulse, he has the skill set, he has the history and the patterns to show that he could win. He could, but unfortunately,
he needs more charisma.
Cannot. And we get to these finale situations. I got to this finale. I looked at Impulse. Impulse, his whole team is dead.
And
Nobody
has been
really
dead
likes
for a
him.
while.
He's alone, and while he could get allies, he's not actually going out of his way to get the allies, because if they do any small thing wrong, then he's out. And that it didn't work well for him, unfortunately.
He just needs to team up with Scott, and then they need to share charisma. It's okay, Scott can lose about 20 charisma points and still be fine.
That's the thing. I remember in Wildlife looking at that grouping of Impulse, Scott, and Gem and be like, yeah, that is the ideal pairing for Impulse to win. But this man...
And he screwed it up again anyways. Well, you know, air quotes screwed. You know what I mean.
I'm not actually upset at him. I'm sad for him because he deserves that win.
One of these days, he's gonna win. It might take 20 seasons, but it's gonna happen.
Well, somebody else said it. It might have been Scott, but it could have just been in Scott's comments. We want Jimmy to win one, but he cannot win yet because whenever he gets first place, the series is over.
True.
Congratulations, we're done now.
We can't go any further. Goal complete. We got Jimmy from last place to first place. Check, check.
Yeah, congrats. We have successfully skilled up for the supposedly worst person on the server. Now what? The end.
The end. Oh, dude. This is, I'm going to say air quotes officially because it a little bit muddled, but the first time we have had a double winner, and it was Martyn, the lore guy.
Yeah, so he did put lore in his, and let me tell you, love that man. Can't wait for the fan fiction.
Dude, his Eyes and Ears AU stream is going to be amazing. I really hope, kindly, it's not this week, because next weekend's Comic-Con for me, so we can't prep for that recording. Oof. It's gonna be
not next week, but while you're at Comic-Con, I'm also gonna disappear for some reason, and we're just gonna leave Mal to solo our podcast.
Hey Mal, do you wanna guest host a podcast? Neither of us are in. Thanks.
Yeah.
Send me the file. I'll still get the editing done.
Congratulations. We spend the recording stuff to Sparkbird. Solo episode. Talk to the wall for half an hour, and we're good.
Oh, dude. I need 70 million comments I have to say on that, but we can't spoil anymore. Yes. Eventually, Martyn is going to do his little AU live stream where technically nothing's canon, but he still wants to talk about it, where he's going to talk about the watchers, the listeners, and the fact that he got a little fragment protected. So cute.
Speaking of lore, because apparently my focus isn't on the lore Martyn did. Good times with Scar. Have you watched his perspective yet?
I haven't. I started and then I'm like, oh, we have a live stream and we have a recording in 5 minutes, so I can't do that.
Yeah, so I'm going to spoil this for you.
That's fine.
At the very end, we go back to the sunflower field.
He's back in the sunflower field.
He's back in the sunflower field.
I'm not surprised.
We get like the vignette over the edges, but planting sunflowers. He's back in that skin again, in the Secret Life skin, just looking, planting his sunflowers. Like, why are we back here again?
Okay, no,
Sarah,
actually,
I understand,
think about this. So, the only reason, canonically in his point of view or whatever, he is still in Secret Life is because he never died at the end of his perspective. Like, he's the only winner to have never not survived. Does that mean he stayed alive on one life for this long? Insanity.
Yep.
He's truly saying I'm a hardcore player now. Watch me win.
I have feelings about it. Why is he still there? Somebody take this man away from the angst.
It's
he spent too much time around Martyn.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Spent too much
Martyn's
time.
poem. We talked about it as our little cold opening, but not cold opening, but you know, our intro poem. So it starts off very similar to how it was before or will be done. What season was that? Was that the one he won before? Yeah. Yeah, that was the one.
It's happened a few times now. It's actually been across well, no, that might have. I know it was Limited Life. My memory says it was also at least one other place, but Our Will Be Done is something that we know the watchers have said a few times.
Yeah. So from what I can tell, and going off the coloring that Martyn has given in the poem, the first half, the echoes ripple to Our Will Be Done. That's the watchers talking. And then it switches to someone saying, don't. And the color shift to a white background with purple, which is what we've become associated with listeners. Oh my God, my ears are ringing so bad right now. I can't even hear myself.
And that's why you played the listener.
I don't want to be the listener. It hurts.
I don't know. I'm assuming the don't is where it switched over because Our Will Be Done was not finished. It was Our Will Be Don't underestimate connection. I know it was the listeners at the end because of that shh. That is something that was done back in Evo. That is something that has been shown as the listeners. Be quiet, I guess.
Yeah.
They're listening. Shush.
But it connects to the whole, like, your fragmented soul, peace protected thing, which we know in the past Martyn's lore has been every time Martyn loses a game, a piece of his soul fractures off, and the only time it's ever been protected was when he won. And it was like the listeners are always trying to protect the fragments of Martyn's soul, but he actually has to win in order to make that possible. So fragment protected. Beautiful. Great. I also was, for some reason, maybe it was the music or maybe it was the way things were being broken up. It was giving such VTuber lore vibes. And I know Martyn in the past has talked about wanting to connect VTuber lore to Eyes and Ears AU, but has never addressed how or why.
Yeah, the fragments are connected to the VTuber lore.
Yeah.
We typically ignore that because it's weird that they're connected. To me, I've always connected it to like the shards that he has to get in different worlds. Fragments of a shard, I don't know.
Yeah. Don't underestimate connections. That's probably having to do... See, I was originally reading that as all the allies he made, but maybe it's connections to... And then because the next line is fractured parallels. Maybe it's connecting to other versions of Martyn out there, connecting to the other parallel hymns.
I saw fractured parallels and I went, oh, okay, yeah, he won the previous time, he won this time. It was very different. They're both fractures, but they are parallel stories to one another.
It is also the parallels of that final fight, because in Limited Life, it was gather around, we're going to fight, and Martyn's like, we can't do this again, that's too much of the same. But this time, they did it over the square hole. And really, let's be honest, the square hole was the winner of this season. It very much was. There's many parallels that you can draw between the ending of this season and previous ones, and I guarantee they will be made simply because, like I said, people love the patterns in this series. And to play those parallels from the first season of those two duking it out, the second season we have the people in the four corners. This is a very similar story to that. Yeah, and then next line, imperfections, obviously. It parallels, but not perfect. Threads entangled, bind you all.
I could not say exactly what that meant. I can throw out theories of what that could mean to me on a first glance over. but somebody's going to come up with a better theory than me.
Yeah. I think this is too fresh in my mind to really dig into theory-wise. But then after that, it's seek not to see, and heed our call. That's obviously don't be a watcher, be a listener. Hear us.
Listen to us.
Listen to us.
Hear me out. Threads entangled. I want to pull in some double life. The threads between individuals. We've got Martyn and Cleo.
With Cleo. That could be cute.
But entangled, we got all of these alliances and threads of connections to people that are all twisted up.
I'm trying to think in that animation at the end of both Past Life and Limited Life, were there any like threads that we saw in the art?
I'm not.
I can't. It wasn't in Past Life.
I think the art in the thumbnail's interesting. We love Cherry to death.
It's never clear how much Cherry's actually told about what's happening to get art-wise.
It's not, but some of the thumbnails you get like that reference image of make something kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
The people who lost and were still spectating were depicted as the watchers in Martyn's. Towards the very end, when they started counting down, we get that eye motif, and we see the thing that was part of the trailer.
Oh, the way he reused the eye so many times, like something important was being said, it was so good.
Yeah, we're getting into this now. Plus, the flashes he did on the different things were also interesting to me, because it was kind of look at the person, look at the base they were a part of, but it wasn't quite right. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the tower, we got Gem. Grian was not shown at the Villies Tower. He was shown at Pearl's grave, I believe.
Actually, oh my god,
that was his location.
Wait. In Cleo's POV, it's the only one I've seen this so far. Cleo was briefly at Spawn, and the Spawn logo, the Evo symbol, had turned completely to bedrock. And before that had happened, because Grian had stolen some of the obsidian and the blocks he had taken were replaced by bedrock, but this time the whole thing was changed. And I don't think anyone stole obsidian.
No, they did. They did. They specifically said, let's fill the rest of it out.
Oh, when did I miss that?
The rest of it. I'm sorry, that is not law. I'm sorry.
I missed that. When did that happen?
Last week? What are you talking about?
Dude, I didn't watch a lot of POVs last week. I'm usually super good to like only missing one or two a week, but last week was just something I was like, I don't know, the vibe wasn't hitting for me. Alas.
I'm sorry.
Alas. Oh, we didn't talk about the first half of the poem, the parts where the Watchers are talking. I think a lot of those lines are connecting to the world building Martyn is doing with the council.
Okay, so we talked about in the listener section, seek not to see and heed not call is this. Don't be like the Watchers. You're not here to just watch. Listen to what we're about to say. Ancients are lurking by our door. Refute their reach. Let not in one or feel our wrath. Seems to me like they're saying, the listeners are at the door. Do not reach out to them. Do not let them in, or you will feel our wrath.
Yeah,
That's
could be about the listeners, but it could also... The issue with the councils, we don't have enough information about them. We know there's in total 8 entities, 2 are watchers, 2 are listeners. At one point in time, watchers and listeners were the same group. It's not clear if the other 4, the 2 of 2, or maybe 1 of 4, were once also part of the watcher group and it was completely separated, or if they're own separate group. And are they 2 groups? Are they 4 groups? Are they 1 group? Is it like these ancients are paying attention to what the watchers are doing and judging them because we know they're not super keen on what's going on, but they also don't want to get super involved? We need Martyn's live stream for that.
I think whatever it is, it's don't let them in or we will be upset at you. But that really depends on what ancients means in this context, where I assumed ancients would be old beings such as the listeners. It could just be ancients lurking in the counting more of this past lives and these past lives that were lurking over you, these things that they have been through and these previous seasons that is constantly lurking behind. Don't let it affect you. I don't know.
Well, also,
I'm really throwing stuff at the wall here.
A lot of the eye imagery Martyn used in his videos was specifically when Gem and Jimmy were talking about the fact that we're the only ones here who haven't won yet. Why are we agreeing to let them all team up? And so it's like that imagery of the eyes kept looking when Gem was pointing out the fact that we haven't won, these other people have. Is it some sort of connection to that, or?
It could be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm excited to see what other people say. But those are my first impressions on the idea. I know some like viewers of the series, not even watchers lore-wise, but viewers of the series didn't want repeat winners.
But
A number of people also didn't care.
Yeah,
as
I
well
mean,
as
to say
one.
I didn't want a repeat winner, like Scott technically won in Double Life as well as he won in Last Life. Okay, we've had a repeat winner before. It just emotionally was given to Pearl.
If we include the
Yeah, if we include the April Fool's thing, then Scott's won 3 times.
2.5.
We can agree to 2.5.
But again, if people want an idea, they will deny all of the logic that says otherwise. So they're like, no, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. I want to know what people do with the celestial stuff, though. Does Martyn get a second celestial body, or does he just stick with Mars?
Well, Mars is the god of war, so it checks out if he is going to stay that way. But what if we just crown the square hole as the winner?
Oh, you're so right. I'm bringing
the square
this
hole's
back, and
celestial
I've said it before,
symbol
but I'm
is the
saying it
black
again.
hole.
I have opinions about the celestial bodies. We got pale as the moon, Scar. No. Well, sure, we're doing that order. Scar is Earth, green with sun. I want Scar to be the Death Star, but all right.
He's in the sunflower field. He has to be on Earth.
He does, but a Death Star is funny.
What? Okay, I will say let's just start putting a black hole imagery behind Mars. Like Mars is going to have a black ring around it now, and we can call that Martyn's new celestial symbol.
Okay, I would be down for that. I was thinking a lot of people really pitched for Comet last time.
Yeah,
give him both. I
people
guess,
are still trying to argue Comet for Joel. It's like, well, what if his car is secretly a comet? I'm like, he's a car. Even I've accepted it at this point.
He's the chariot. If you're gonna have to give it something funny, man's the Fast and Furious franchise. They reference that again this season.
He's the Fast and Furious. I feel like I was not paying attention to Joel's POV. I feel like it just sort of happened, and I was like, cool, on to the next one.
Joel just happened.
Joel just happens around me,
You're not sure what happened, but he happened.
He happened.
I don't know. I enjoyed the season. I enjoyed how Etho did it. I'm so sorry to all of the Etho girlies who thought he would win this time.
If they had just stayed in previous updates, maybe he would have. If they just stayed in beta, he would have won.
He would have, because especially like the fighting styles, the fact that they did the experimental like minecart stuff really gave certain people more of an advantage than Etho.
Grian couldn't even figure out how to use that stuff.
Okay, but I'm sure you're aware Martyn has been doing the streams of preparing for the filming of the week. He did a whole experiment on like, how does this TNT work? So he did prep for that. Well, Etho is not the kind of man to prep for that. Nope,
not in the game. He doesn't know it.
He knows his stuff. He does his stuff. He exists. Apparently his tissue box is falling apart, but whatever.
It's dying.
But you sound so sad about it.
It's dying.
You've never seen his tissue box.
Well, yes, I have. He's posted a picture of his desk before.
You've never met this tissue box.
I know this tissue box.
Yeah. I enjoyed the season, I really did. I enjoyed it because of its pattern breaking, but also its nostalgia, since I did watch Evo, people freaking out about the connections and be like, yeah, it's confirmed now! The lore that Martyn did, because Martyn did like flashback stuff of like, someone would say something and we swap back to a previous season for a few moments. It wasn't a whole lot, but did that a couple times. So I enjoyed it. I don't know who my favourite perspective was.
Oh, I really had a fun time watching Zombie Cleo's POV, but I just am a Zombie Cleo fan in general, so you know.
As you should be. I
feel like Zombie Cleo and Joel's POV balances perfectly between being involved in everything without directly having any moments where it's like, this could potentially lead into fandom drama, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the Villies, of course, because they were interesting, but I liked seeing other perspectives of the Villies before I watched any of theirs. Because I would watch it from somebody else's, it's really, really intimidating. And then once I'm done with other people's perspectives, I hop over to Grian because it's been a day, and I go, okay, so how did they think it went? And turns out they were not scared at all.
Nope.
And just be like, yep, you know.
Yep.
We're here.
The winner was
Congrats.
secretly the square hole all along. So maybe the Villies did win.
Well, no.
Yeah. No, the square hole was not on the Villies team, actually, now that I think about it. It did eat them, too.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Pitch for your fanfic writers out there. Eldritch creature square hole.
Eldritch, yeah.
Because, like, even in Martyn's point of view, we've got to feed the square hole. It wants to feed. I don't know, maybe you could feed that. You could lean into watch a law about them feeding on emotions for the square hole. But you don't have to. You could put an extra eldritch being in the square hole that demands to be fed.
The stalagmites are now teeth, it's a stomach, it's a mouth, it will swallow you whole.
Yep.
It is what it is. On to the Q&A?
Sure, let's do a Q&A. Glass bottles, and I'm hitting the glass bottles. That is your sound. We're moving on to the next section.
Question number 1 from Canary Oxygen Box. This one is just for me, but then there's another one that's for both of us, so I'm going to answer the one for me really first. Because it's Kahicho Hitman Reborn related again, are there any KHR fanfictions that you recommend? And yes, there is, but there is one that's technically a crossover that I think is the most superior thing in the world. Spoiler for the fanfiction recommendation video I have coming up, and it's called The Butterfly Effect Drabble. Specifically the Drabble version. There is like a full fanfiction version, but the Drabble goes on way past it, and I think it's written much better. It's by the author Xejis, and it's basically this idea of what if Suna has an older brother who is the reincarnation of Kurama. You know, instead of Kurama going to be a single child when being born again as a human, he gets to be Suna's older brother, but he doesn't inherit any flame, so it's still the story of KHR, but instead we have a demon as an older brother and things go wildly off the rails. But yeah, those are, I like the crossover fanfiction.
Love to see it.
Question.
I want to talk about gelato.
Yeah, question number 2, also from Canary Oxygen Box. What is our best gelato flavor? I mean, I'm chocolate all the way, but you know.
I have a preference for citrus ones.
Oh, those are good.
I've had lemon, I've had orange, I've had citrus, and it doesn't specify. I also, of course, would love me a berry of some kind. Raspberry is my preferred, but I've only had that once.
Ooh, I mean, when we talked about frozen yogurt earlier, I'm like tart all the way, but I don't think tart gelato is the same as tart frozen yogurt, you know?
I get that, but I can only have certain flavours without getting really sick, and citrus is one of them.
That's true.
So, I like berry, raspberry, blackberry, sometimes cherry, but that's touch and go. Strawberry is also touch and go. I prefer that kind of thing, but more often than that, I get citrus. I love it. I just enjoy it, and I can get it without getting sick. So, hear me out, orange.
Good. Okay, the final question for our beautiful little podcast, ever and ever and ever. No, we have an episode next week. What is our trinket shelf like? Now, joke's on you. I have trinkets everywhere.
Yeah, a shelf? I feel like... So, I don't know. Chaos doesn't know this, but I am completely redoing my room. So I have to gather all of my trinkets together. I have about 4 full boxes.
I'm looking at my shelf. I think my favorite one, it actually doesn't have a ton of trinkets on it, but it has my favorite ones. It has my book that has all the Dream SMP lore. Actually, it has 5 books that have all the Dream SMP lore. But it specifically has the one open up to as many signatures of Dream SMP members as I could get. And then what's propping it open is a recreation of like one of those like miniature models my friend made for me for like a holiday gift. And it's my first ever Minecraft bed on my first ever SMP I ever played on. Because I had my solo world and I played on that for approximately 2 months before I got invited to my first ever SMP. And I have this tradition where it's the first bed I place down has to stay there forever. That is my first bed. And so someone recreated this the chunk that my first bed was in, and it looks so cute and so cozy, and I love it so much.
That's so nice. Yeah.
It also has my Watcher mask on it, so you know.
The only trinkets I have right now is my shelves that are built into the wall that are ceiling to floor covered in trinkets. I have an owl dedicated shelf two, actually.
Oh, I also have my ethos snail up on that shelf. I bought a little snail from like a specifically an artist who just did like tiny snails, and it was literally like 2 days after the snail episode came out of the Life series. And I'm like, this one looks like etho. I'm taking it.
I also got a couple sewn little like hand-sized creatures, like a frog, a little mouse, a little bird.
I have a jar that has
boxes,
the
rocks.
poison for Cusco, Cusco's poison, the one that's secretly a llama. That one, I do enjoy that one.
The poison, specifically for Cusco. I mean, the lowest shelves of my trinkets are a bunch of books that I cherish with rocks on top of them.
We don't need to talk about rocks everywhere in my... Every shelf has a rock on it.
If you look over on my radiator, that's where I keep my costume trinkets. I keep them like around my grumble head.
Yeah, I just have a lot of trinkets in this household. A lot of trinkets.
Yeah, it's...
In this podcast
it's kind
household.
of a problem. It's kind of a problem. In this Discord, we...
Wait for Mal to randomly join the call and say, yeah, I have 70 million trinkets as well.
No, here's the thing is I've seen the duck wall.
It's...
I've had them turn the camera and look, and it's just a shelf covered in ducks.
I'm stealing that. I need that. It's only ducks.
Right? I got a few rubber ducks specifically because of them.
I had a couple rubber ducks, and they slowly went missing, and I found out that a family member had been putting them in our bird ponds because we get more birds when there's rubber ducks already sitting in the bird ponds.
Oh, sure.
So
why not?
I guess that's where all my rubber ducks are hanging out now.
I also have a jar that is originally a candle holder, but it's like a bunch of broken glass put together to make a candle holder, and I just fill it with the shiny things I find on the road on my walk home. Lots of little shiny things at the road. Pieces of glass sometimes. I don't pick up a lot of those because but sometimes shiny things. Just a jar of broken shiny things. It is trash, but I like it. This is why they call me a bird.
I think that's the episode.
Yep, that's the episode.
All right.
Let's go past life. Let's go Gelato.
Let's go Square Hole.
That's what I have to say.
Congratulations.
Let's go Square Hole. You won the season.
Okay.
That's the spoiler. The Square Hole won.
Goodbye.
Above all else. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of FanDive. We'll be back again next Monday diving into yet another fandom. Have a topic or question for the podcast? Head over to our website, fandive.tumblr.com. There you can also find any episode relevant images and general shenanigans that we get up to. It is Tumblr, after all. We're not afraid of being fans of things.